Ken, thanks for taking my call. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working for a temp agency, and they put me in a position, a little less money, but I was excited about it because it's a new skill. And I left after a week due to only having a day and a half of training. And I had literally, my boss told me I had no resources. Was I wrong?
What do you think?
Well, no, actually, I don't think I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I got sick to my stomach when I had to leave and let them know and let the temp agency know, only because of my personal integrity, but really bugged me.
Well, what bugged you?
What bugged me was that I didn't have any resources. And well, actually, you know what really bugged me is I felt stupid, like I couldn't get a grasp on this position. And they hired me because I'm a bookkeeper, accounting, and that is a piece of the job, but it was in banking for commercial processing, commercial loan processing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of information. I don't know how to read those docs, what they mean. And I literally felt stifled, and I consider myself a pretty smart person.
Yeah. And you brought it up. You raised your hand.
Yep.
And their response was what?
Well, thank you for, they just basically thanked me for showing up.
Right. But there was no, oh, you're right. Hold still. We've got about 5 resources. There was no real response.
No, there wasn't.
And you're a temp, right?
Exactly. And I was excited because this would have been I wanted to have this job because it was a door open for, like I said, new skills. I've never worked in a bank before, and, looking at the benefit package because I am looking for these types of things. And I was really excited. It was my credit union.
Sure, of course.
It was
right. But I'm dying. I know this is funny. I'm dying to know what their response was when you told them you were leaving after a week.
Yeah. All I got was thank you for being here. Okay. And that's it. And the person that I trained with was going out on maternity leave, and unfortunately she had to leave on the spot. That she went to the doctor's office. That was the second day I was there, and they said no. And it was I was learning from her remotely.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so here's my point. The reason I'm asking you all these little questions is because you already know the answer and you're just calling for verification. And I'm happy to verify that, yes, you should have walked from that. It's a freaking temp job that you were excited about, and it's a dumpster fire over there. So first of all, no one is going to look at your resume and go, oh, wait a second, there's this one thing here where you were at this bank, this credit union for a week, and you walked out. Bottom line is, I wouldn't even put it on your work history. Like, that's a week of your life you're never getting back. So I wouldn't even I just wouldn't worry about it for a second. Number one, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Mm-hmm. You didn't do anything wrong.
Thank you.
Yeah. And number two, this has no impact on your future.
Cool, because I always worry about that doing temp work because I you need to put down certain skills that you've learned. Like I said, the disappointment more than anything, Ken, was I was excited about this, learning something new.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Why are you doing temp work? Is it just because you only have a certain amount of hours to be able to work?
No, my husband passed away of cancer in 2020, and I was working part-time. And I was working 4 days a week with a bookkeeping firm. And now, after a certain period of time, I'm better now, and I can start looking for work. And my boss knew that I was looking for work. So I decided to do temp work to start visiting some companies so I can get a taste and a flavor for the management style.
Right.
What would be a fit for me. So I'm this is what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So you're
I don't know if that's a smart thing.
I actually wanted to tell you I love the idea of temping in an industry. In fact, I've never given that advice before. And because of you, Robin, I'm going to start giving that advice.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because I tell people all the time, people call and say, Ken, how do I know if I would like working in a bank or being a banker or whatever? And so you know what I tell them? You've listened to me. I tell them, go hang out with some bankers. Mm-hmm. Shadow them for half a day. Go talk to them. Take them to lunch, coffee. And it's like you treat them like you're doing a college term paper on them and their work. Mm-hmm. And this is just good old-fashioned, what I call clarify and verify. We clarify what is the good, the bad, what's involved. And then my heart, that's the head part, and my heart's going to verify if I want to do it or not. But you're taking it another step further by going, well, by temping, I'm not committing to anything or anybody. And by the way, nobody expects a temp to stay very long anyway. And now you've got actually a very effective narrative. Because if you were to say, you know what, I got some experience, and my experience wasn't just the work side, it was observing, and I now know that I want to be in, and you fill in the blank. And so when you're in the hiring process to say, hey, I went and actually got some temp experience because I wanted to absolutely know that this is something that I would enjoy. Boy, that comes across really, really smart and very confident in an interview, doesn't it?
It really does. And the only thing the hiccup that I have, Ken, is like, okay, how do I present this on my resume? And you're right. Throw that in the dumpster along with the rest of the dumpster fire, because there's, that's not worth putting it there. But it has been quite a learning lesson. It's a little bit, temping is a little bit of a rough ride.
100% it is.
Like,
you know why? Unfortunately,
you never know what you're going to get.
Well, you're devalued.
Yeah.
The very response of your own freaking credit union. You're a customer, for crying out loud. But they didn't treat you like a customer, did they?
No.
They treat you, they literally are like, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, okay. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And they're
they
experiencing
don't care.
What a lot of, no, they don't. And they're short-staffed. Yeah,
so here's the deal. I think it's a good strategy, but you have to treat it as nothing more than I'm doing this because it's going to allow me to get where I want to go. So you got to treat it like temp work. You're still a woman of integrity because that's who you are. And you're a woman of character because that's who you are. And you do those things, you exhibit those things. But look, you're trying to get something out of it too.
Exactly.
So I actually think it's a good strategy, but I wouldn't get all worked up if they treat you poorly because, again, that's the nature of that work, unfortunately. I don't think we should treat anybody that way. I don't think we should treat any part-time. I don't think we should treat a 16-year-old that way who's working their first job at Burger King. I think everybody deserves the dignity that you would treat the President of the United States if they walked in the room. I'm not going to stand up and listen to the music, but I'm going to treat you like, hey, you're a human being, right?
Exactly.
So, Robin, I think you're on the right track. I think this is all about you re-entering. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But you have
it's
so
just trying
much
to find my way.
I know, but you have so much to give. Hey, have you taken my Get Clear career assessment?
I have.
Well, you have a purpose statement. So,
yes.
Do you have my book, From Paycheck to Purpose?
I don't.
All right, yes, you do.
Oh, great.
I'm going to give it to you right now. I'll put you on hold. Here's what I want you to do. Now that you've taken the Get Clear career assessment, you have a purpose statement. You really do have your heading. You've got a compass that kind of points you in a general direction. But the book itself is the 7 stages, like climbing a mountain. And it's going to be a really simple, clear path for you to really re-enter. And I honestly believe it's a perfect product for you now that you've taken the assessment. So I want to give that to you as my gift. And because you have so much to give, your life is not over. And this next season for you, I think part of recovering from the loss of your husband will be you finding a professional contribution that you can get really excited about.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's a little harder because I am older. I'm 58 years old, so I'm not as young as I was.
Whoa. I'm about to turn 48 this week. You better watch yourself, Robin. No, ma'am, I don't accept that. You are not.
All right, I appreciate
You are
that.
not
Thank
older.
You.
You know what you are? You're like a fine wine. You've aged. You've aged in the bottle, and now you have a lot to give. You have a lot to pour out. Thank you so much for the call. You have great things in front of you, Robin. Believe that.